Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Why Slice. We've talked about why computer science is important, and hopefully, you're all convinced of this by now. So, let's have a look at how you can actually do some computer science. We're going to start very simple. We're going to do some basic programming, and this will continue over the next couple of lessons until in the end we get something that's fairly complex. But don't worry, we're going to take this step by step. You don't need to have any prior knowledge in programming. And we're also not going to do the boring thing where I tell you about all these different things that they are, but instead we're going to use some examples and we're going to actually try things and see how they work in practice. The programming environment that we're going to be using is entirely online, so all you need is a web browser and nothing else. And the really cool thing about it is that it's a 3D modeling language. So it's a programming language embedded in a system that allows you to create 3D models, which you can then, for example, 3D print. So let's have a look at what that's going to look like. Here's the environment. The program, or the website rather, is called OpenJSCAD. And if you just go to the website, this is what you see. You've got a 3D model here, and we can rotate this, we can move this around. If I hold the Shift key pressed while I'm operating with the mouse, I can kind of pan it like this. I can zoom in and I can zoom out with the mouse wheel. And here on the right-hand side, we have the code that produced this particular model. And this is the example, one of the examples that comes with this website. All I want you to do for now is familiarize yourselves with this environment. How do I actually manipulate this? How do I write code here? What does it do? When I write code, how do I various things that I might want to do? Let's have a very quick look at an example. I'm just going to change one of the numbers here. Let's say I want to do a 10 instead of a 3. Then I hold Shift down and I press Enter, and my 3D model is updated. Whoops, that looks a bit weird. Okay, now we have a big cube and really nothing else. So just play around with this a little bit. Left-hand panel here, if you mouse over that, this thing will come out and it tells you a little bit about the basics for the editor, how you can control it. For example, that when you press Shift and Enter, it will update the model with the changes to the code that you've made. How you can manipulate the 3D view. There's user guide and documentation. Recent updates you're probably not all that interested in. If you want to continue using this afterwards, there's a Google Plus community that you can go to and ask questions. And then finally, there are a bunch of examples here that you can have a look at. So when I click on this, I will, for example, get this guy here. Okay, and this even has some parameters that you can specify to change what the model looks like. We're not going to get into that much detail, but lots of examples for you to learn from. Don't worry too much about the code here for now, but really just familiarize yourself with the environment. This is what we're going to be working with. This is what we will be doing our programming exercises in. So spend some time getting to know this. The programming language behind it is called JavaScript. And this is one of the really important programming languages nowadays because it provides a lot of the glue that holds the modern internet together. In particular, if you go to a website and there is some way of interacting with it, like you click a button and things happen, chances are that this is implemented in JavaScript. Useful language to know also means that there are a lot of resources are available on learning JavaScript. How do I get started? What do these different constructs mean? A little bit of that you can find in the documentation on this site here already, but you can also look this up yourself. And I am on purpose in this video, but also in subsequent videos, not going to give you a list of resources to go to. Here's where you can look up how to do loops in JavaScript, for example. But I want you to go and find that out for yourselves because I can't anticipate everything you might want to do. And being able to find the information is also going to be really useful going forward. So have a go at it. Just play around with the examples. Just familiarize yourselves with the environment. Play with this and make sure that you know how to manipulate things.